100 naira ko. Desmond Elliot.
Good morning, viewers. Welcome to another exciting edition of the program Lagos This Morning. Today being the 10th of March 2023 is just 8 days to the gubernatorial elections, and we will be discussing about latest news updates in Lagos State and also across the Federation. I am Olajide Taufik Olamide.
Hi, I'm Adeni Adela. Welcome to Lagos This Morning.
All right, let's take a look at the headlines for today. Lagos BRT bus driver arrested for causing accident. Solve BVAS challenges before rescheduled gubernatorial election, Alex Oti tells INEC. More banks dispense old notes as customers reject deposit conditions. INEC false judgment permitting temporary voter card for gubernatorial polls. We must retire you, reactions as Desmond Elliot donates transformers 9 days to election. New Nigeria will rise from Lagos State, that's coming from Labour Party governorship candidate Gbadebo Road's rival. And the last one, politicians collected our bank account numbers without paying. Niger State voters cry out. Let's take a look at the details.
Lagos BRT bus driver arrested for causing accidents. An eyewitness has alleged that the driver of Lagos State staff bus that collided with the passenger train in the Ikeja area of the state on Thursday morning used an earpiece while driving. According to an eyewitness in the video who requested anonymity, he said that the driver was on earpiece while driving and that the driver was not patient enough for the train to pass before moving, despite the passenger's warning. He said they stopped the driver in the BRT, but he is using earpiece. The people in the vehicle now said, stop, but he said, let me go, it is too far, let me just go.
Wow. Well, yesterday when I saw the report, I knew that there must have been a grave mistake from the driver. And now when I saw the report as well again now, the eyewitnesses report, it wasn't surprising to me, because I was like, there is no way a bus driver wouldn't have known that the train was coming. He would have heard the sound. Because if a train is coming and it gets to a particular location whereby there are commuters who actually pass through the railway, it would horn to them from afar. They would hear the sound. But this driver, as has been said by the eyewitnesses, they said it was on earpiece. And the new BRT buses that we have now, you can't just touch the driver. There's a kind of glass whereby that has been built around the driver's seat, whereby you can't just easily touch the driver. And the driver was actually using earpiece as well. You see, when you are driving, some people would be driving, they would be on earpiece and they will still wind up the glasses. So you now leave only your eyes to do the work of your ears as well. I think it will take you more like that. You're trying to multitask with your eyes. So it's the fault of the driver. Because now, even if you were to be driving a small car or a small vehicle or something, just like a bus or maybe a Venza or Toyota Corolla, it would have been easier to easily maneuver on the railway line. But you are driving a big bus, a BRT bus, you know, carrying over 70 passengers or like 80 passengers, then they risk their lives with the intention of, okay, let me quickly pass over this thing before the train comes.
And
then
train is so fast. You would think train is not fast from afar. I think probably that's what I thought. Like probably the train is still, like you said, that it is still far away.
It is still
so
far
let me
away.
just quickly pass, like drive.
Yeah, and actually I heard something yesterday that once the train is coming, there's a kind of magnetic force that the railway line generates. That even if you, as a normal person, if you step on it or you try to pass at that time, it will feel as if it's drawing you back or something. So I think this man should have actually waited, allowed the train to go, then you just pass peacefully. But he actually didn't listen to those passengers. See, as a driver, the lives of your passengers are in your hands, and you just have to listen to them. Why are you going to your destination? You're not going there because of yourself. You are going there because of the passengers. They ask you to take them there. So anything they tell you, you just have to obey. You have to obey. So I think there should be a severe punishment for this man, for the driver, either a man or a woman or something, because 6 people lost their lives in that incident. 6 people lost their lives, and over about 60 people were injured. Many people were badly injured. So now, just because of a particular moment of, you know, gross misconduct, and when you are too adamant about your own decision, when you can't just let other people to have their own say, like just calm down and let this thing pass. Okay, let me just quickly go. You want to do Bruce Lee, or what would I call it, or you want to be a Vin Diesel or Van Damme or something. So I think there should be a strict penalty for this man. So it would serve as a deterrent, as a lesson for other people as well. Maybe we should look at some comment.
Okay, Miss Gladys said, good morning to you all watching from ATL USA.
Thank
Special
you.
greetings to our beloved presenters. Thanks for keeping us abreast of events and issues happening in our motherland.
Thank you.
Miss Ivan said no sound. I think there is sound now.
Yeah, there's sound now.
Edo Blockbuster said, good morning to you too.
Good morning.
Gladys said, the bus driver is at fault. He is a careless man. He is very careless. He's
very careless, and it's cost many people their lives now. So those people would have left their homes with the aim of, you know, okay, my husband, my wife, I'm coming back by so time, and you know, couldn't make it back home.
Wow.
It just lost their life just because of a man's negligence, just one man's negligence. So there should be a strict penalty. And some people reacted yesterday that majority of these BRT bus drivers, they are not well trained. They don't listen to their passengers. They don't listen. They just keep on driving recklessly.
Exactly.
Even with the fact that they are driving big bus. Maybe you need to calm down. At times you need to slow down, let people pass. You know, this obey traffic rules. And let's say, okay, a worker of the Lagos State government now, not being gentle enough to allow a train to pass. Then what would the normal people on the street who are not working for Lagos State, what do you expect them to do? They even do worse things. So I think there should be a general strict measure for everyone using the road, aside pedestrians. But for drivers using the road, either you are a private driver or, you know, public worker or something, there should be a very strict one for everyone.
Okay, on to the next. Solve BVAS challenges before a scheduled Guba poll, Alex Oti tells INEC. The Labour Party governorship candidate in Abia State, Alex Oti, has appealed to the INEC to solve challenges with the Bermuda voter accreditation system before the March 18 governorship and state assembly elections. Recall that the electoral umpire has been criticized following the failure of BVAS to transmit a significant number of election results from polling units in real time during the February 25 presidential election, as promised by the commission beforehand. Speaking on his chances of winning the Abia governorship poll during an interview on Channels Television on Thursday, Otis said he still believes BVAS is a game changer, but asked INEC to fix the problem with the devices.
Yeah, as I said, BVAS is a game changer. But if you still have human interference in the machine system, I think it would be tampered with to a very large extent. Because we saw what happened during the presidential election. Once you still involve human being in the process, I think if we actually want the electoral process to work, just let humans supervise. Don't let them have direct interference with the machine. You should lock them out. I don't know how they will do it, but I think most of them would not want to run a software that will lock them out. They want to have a kind of backdoor to get into the system, tamper with it, and make it to work for their own selfish gains, for their own personal interest. So I think the BVAS actually is a game changer, but we saw that with human interference, it didn't really change a lot of things. And then the INEC too as well, they need to be held responsible. If you're saying that you would, okay, you've postponed the gubernatorial election now till March 18, but are we still going to have the repeat of what happens during the presidential election? But some technical experts actually came out yesterday to say that reconfiguring the machine does not mean that those files on it or the information would be lost.
Exactly.
That even if they reconfigure it, the information there would still be intact. But we can't really trust anybody as at this point in time.
No, we don't.
Even if before they reconfigure it, we have to get all the information out of the machine. It should be backed up on a server, in a cloud or something, or a hard drive or something. It should be backed up somewhere whereby the Labour Party, PDP and all other parties have access to the backup information before it is being reconfigured. So after the reconfiguration, if the files there or the information there, if it gets missing, there wouldn't be any cause for alarm or something. But I think the Labour Party now are saying that they want to have access to the reconfiguration process.
Yes.
But they have not been allowed yet. They're not being allowed yet. I don't think any party should really have access to the reconfiguration process. I don't think so. Although if they want to be transparent enough and they want to actually gain back Nigeria's trust, they can ask the Labour Party presidential candidate, all presidential candidates to be present at the reconfiguration process. So it won't look as if they are trying to manipulate the system. So nobody would later, drag them to court and bring up cases at times, because we notice that at times some things really go as planned, but our politicians, there's no way they wouldn't react based on their emotions. And if someone loses the election as well, it is only normal thing to react and think that maybe you have been rigged out or something. But if you actually want to make it transparent, you can invite all the presidential candidates, and even you can invite the presidential candidate and their vice presidential candidate as well. Tell them, let them come there and let them witness the configuration process, so as to make it transparent, so they can get back to their people and say, all right, for this gubernatorial election, they have reconfigured it and we were present at the place. There was no kind of rough game there or any hidden agenda. All right, so if you're watching this, can keep dropping your comment and smash the like button. Hit the like button to do for us on the channel. Thank you very much.
Okay, more banks dispense old notes. Customers reject deposit conditions. More deposit money banks have begun to dispense old 1,000 naira and 500 naira notes to their customers about 3 days after a few banks started doing so. Findings by newsmen on Thursday revealed that the Polaris Bank and First Bank are started paying old 1,000 naira and 500 naira notes to their customers. This came just about 3 days after Guaranty Trust Bank PLC, Zenith Bank, and Sterling Bank started dispensing old 1,000 naira and 500 naira notes to their customers. Meanwhile, many customers were shocked on Thursday after some deposit money banks in Abuja dispensed the old naira note, declared that they would not accept the old bills from their customers. This created confusion among customers, who also complained that the old notes had been rejected by traders, filling stations, transporters, and other businesses in the capital city. They're actually rejecting the money, like...
Yeah. They're rejecting the money yet. I think the CBN is yet to pass a message to the banks that they should make the old note a legal tender. I think so. Because some people actually went to the bank to withdraw cash. They got the old note, got to the people or inside the market whereby they had to purchase commodities. But the people in the market rejected the old note. They rejected it. I think the presidency or the CBN needs to come out and tell the whole public that the old note is now a legal tender and they can collect them. They can start using it as a means of exchange. Because if it continues like this, it's going to affect the Nigerian economy. Yeah. It is surely going to affect.
Like all these the protests that happen.
Yeah, so it won't come up again. And to also slow down means of to slow down the market what's it called? The market activities. Yeah. Because over the times now we have not been able to use the cash. And even the new note that they said they did, it is very, very limited. It is just little amounts that they brought out into the system. There would be so many, it would be a large amount of money, but they brought only few ones into the system. And the old note that we've deposited in the bank before, bring it out in the system. The CBN should make a public announcement or public declaration or something and order the banks to, start collecting this money. The presidency should make a declaration or announcement that all traders and everyone should start using the old notes. Regardless, apart from that, I don't think any commuter or any seller or trader or anything would be able to collect the old notes. Because I was at a place yesterday, I was at a particular restaurant or something. Then a man came with old 1,000 naira note. The woman said she cannot collect it because where she would go to in the market where she would even want to purchase another food stuff and the like, they will not collect it from her. Once they start collecting it in the market, then people will start collecting it from customers as well. So I think there should be a public announcement because the people now are so skeptical when it comes to collecting the old notes. I think we should have some comment.
Mr. Andrew said there's supposed to be a barrier at that point. Johnny Benibo said government is confused. AKMG Card said good morning to you all. God will bless you all.
Amen.
God bless you too.
I think that barrier I was talking about the railway line. It's not as if there was no barrier or something there.
The driver was careless.
The driver was very careless.
He
was
was
careless.
on airpiece while conveying like more than 70 people in BRT bus.
Yeah.
And they kept warning him like probably remove your
Even after the episode, they told him that it should wait. And he said there's no problem. This train is still far. I can quickly go. But on getting to the middle, I don't know, maybe something happened along the line. Or before you start, entering those, you try to leap over those iron rods, the railway line. There's no way the BRT wouldn't slow down. You can't just run over it. It's not possible when it's not something that is flat. So probably as it got to the middle, he realized that he has been caught up in the moment. Then it happened. So well, I commiserate with the families of those that lost their loved ones, and those ones that are in the hospital now receiving treatment. May God speed up their treatment as well, their ailment.
Okay. INEC filed judgments permitting temporary voter card for pros. The INEC on Thursday night said it would appeal the court judgment which ordered that the 2 Nigerians with temporary voters card should be allowed to vote during the March 18, 2020 governorship and Houses of Assembly elections. The spokesperson for INEC Chairman Rotimi Oyekomi made this known to newsmen on Thursday. Flip TV report that the Federal High Court in Abuja on Thursday ordered INEC to allow the use of temporary voter cards in the governorship and House of Assembly elections rescheduled for March 18. The court held that there was no portion of both the 1999 Constitution and the Electoral Act that states that it is only permanent voter cards that could be used to vote.
Well, I don't think any sane human being should come out now to say that they should revert back to the temporary voter card or something. If we didn't start the whole process by using the temporary voters card, then why the governorship election now you want to start using temporary voters card? Then that means there is a game plan. That means there is surely a game plan somewhere, somehow, to use those cards to manipulate the system and make sure to rig election. Because I don't see any reason why anyone should come out now and start saying that. I did mean at the first instance for the entire general election, both the governorship, the presidential and House of Rep and the likes, if they had said that it would be a combination of the old, the temporary voters card and the permanent voters card, we would have agreed. I myself personally, I wouldn't have issues with it. But right now we've done the presidential election. Why do they now want to bring up this kind of game for the governorship election? Without making us think that they have ulterior motives. I think the INEC actually, faulted it. They've scrapped it out. Like they didn't accept to use it. But I'm still in the court. The court has ordered them that they should use it. But INEC is insisting that they won't use it.
Exactly.
And personally, I think Nigerians would surely be against it. If we have started with the permanent voters card, let us end it with the permanent voters card as well.
Okay. Ikem Jika said we are in economic jihad. He said Fulani seized the money. Which money? Which money?
Well, you don't know the money that you're talking about. You can actually, elaborate your comment. Thank you.
We must retire you. Reaction as Desmond Elliot donates Transformers 9 days to election. Politician representing Surulere constituency, Desmond Elliot, has got many talking as he donated transformers to the constituency just 9 days before the 2023 gubernatorial elections. Desmond Elliot, who is running for a third term as a lawmaker for Lagos State House of Assembly, Surulere constituency, took to social media to reveal he commissioned the installment of high-capacity transformers in Surulere. His action is geared towards bringing reliable electricity to communities that have long needed it. Nigerians, especially the youth, have taken to several comment sections to slam Desmond Elliot for what it is considered to be cheap propaganda to win another election in his constituency. Others noted that why didn't he do it since must it be very close to the election day?
Yeah.
Maybe he didn't have the money.
No. You can't say that he does not have the money.
Exactly. Like, why is it that just few days, like 9 days to the election, that's when they know where they are sending transformer?
Yeah. You see, I actually like. I love one thing about this election season, and the emergence of the obedience wave and tsunami. It has put governors and political office holders and aspirants on their toes. Before this time, had it been there was no youth involvement in this election like that, it would have been a normal process whereby, okay, he has donated transformers to the constituencies, to Surulere area, whereby those people will say, okay, because he has donated this thing, let us vote for him. You know, the youth were uninvolved then. So now that the youth are involved, and then what he said during the NSAS, that is why they want to remove him now. And the fact that there was one kind of project that he did a particular bridge whereby, you know, when looking at the picture, the signpost that he placed his picture on, that he did the bridge, is even stronger than the bridge that he did. For real, that's just it. I think he actually built a particular toilet too, and during the COVID-19, he built a kind of, maybe he donated it or something, a kind of bucket whereby he placed a kind of a sanitizer, water or something where you can actually wash your hand. So I think to some extent, what he did during the NSAS, his reaction, that he called all the youth entirely and those that are agitating for, you know, the police brutality to stop. He called all of them children. He used the word children like to diminish all their effort, and he said the government should regulate the social media. The social media that he used to campaign while he was aspiring. Said government should clamp down on social media, they should regulate it because, you know, look at what these children are saying, they are insulting them, they do so many things. But I would always say something, if you serve the people as you have promised to serve them, why would they come up to insult you? And even so far you are a public office holder, you are not immune against public criticism. If you don't want anybody to actually insult you, then don't vie for any post at all. You will notice Asiwaju Bola Tinubu said something a few months back. He said that he does not even check the social media anymore because he has been abused.
Exactly. Like
people used to abuse him a lot, so he has refused to even check his comment section or social media entirely. So he knows it. Once you are out there in the public, there are people who would like you and there are some that would not even like you at all. And those that don't like you would keep on, you know, coming up with negative words against you. Even if they are criticizing you, it should be constructive criticism.
Okay.
It shouldn't just be blind criticism where either you work or you don't work, they just throw shit at you. No, it's very wrong. But what he said then, he came out to apologize after, but because he had dared the youth, and the youth has told him that, don't worry, we would see by 2023. Maybe they thought then that it was 2020 and the youth would forget. There's this saying that Nigerians do forget things quickly. We have short memory.
No, we don't.
We had short memory. But I think this after the NSAS, the Sorosuke generation, you know, that led the NSAS protests and the likes, we stopped forgetting things.
There is this hashtag that says we will never forget.
Like we'll never forget. And the fact that the social media is there, especially the Twitter doesn't forget anything. Even social media entirely, it does not forget because everything, all the information will be stored in the cloud. And once you type, okay, NSAS protest, it will start bringing all the videos back, all the pictures, or everything. Once you press Desmond Elliot now on Twitter, it will bring that particular video where he said the children, you know, the youth, he tagged the youth as children. So he was being challenged then that, don't worry, we'll vote you out. So I don't think anything that he does now would actually, you know, make the people have a change of mind due to what he had said against the youth. So I think that's just it. But regardless of that, we've seen other governors too replicating the same thing, you know, paying up pensions that they didn't pay before.
Giving back impounded vehicles. free.
You know, giving back impounded vehicles for free. No, auctioned vehicles.
Auction vehicles.
They've auctioned some. Those ones that they've auctioned, how
What
will the
will now
person
happen
get
to
it
the
back?
owners? Exactly.
Would they tell those people that bought it that they should return it?
I will give you your money back.
It's not even possible. Nobody will return that kind of vehicle. So I think to some extent, I love how these things are going, whereby politicians have to be on their feet.
You know, like some years back, the youth are not really like partaking in all this
in politics
or anything. But now they are awake.
They are active.
They are active. They know what they want. They know who they want. So if you are trying to like do something, like what Desmond Elliot did now, like it's like a turn off for me, because you didn't buy transformer, you didn't install transformer
when they needed it.
So it's now like few days to the election where the people, when you need the people to vote for you, that you now know where they are selling transformer to bring transformer to install in your constituency. That's like, should I call it as like something?
It's an act of desperation.
Exactly, like you're desperate for their vote. So once you get their vote again,
then maybe you withdraw the transformer or something. So I think the basis of governance now, after this time, I think it would be, see, when you want to come back to campaign for election, just come with your scorecard. Let us rate you according to what you have done. When we needed you, did you come for us?
He said we should not focus on what he hasn't done, that we should focus on what he has done. That's Desmond Elliot. Yesterday on his show with
on your view,
yeah, he said they should focus on what he has done and not on what he hasn't done.
He actually made another statement. He said he has pledged allegiance with the youth. Okay. Either they like it or not. You can't pledge allegiance with someone either the person likes it or not. No, that's like you're forcing yourself on that person. So I actually think the timing of these transformers, it is good as bought transformers for them. It is good. It is what they need there. But the timing is just so wrong. It's wrong. I think he did it immediately after the NSAS saga, and he has closed up that gap and he has redeemed his image. I think it would have been forgiven by now. It might have transformers now. He has gotten the transformers there. It's something to get those transformers. It's another thing to fix them, to install them and connect it together and make it work. I didn't mean he had done this thing like a year or 2 years before. They'll be able to point to you now, to point to those transformers that, okay, this transformer, you gave it to us. You made us have this thing, you made us have this thing. So why are you in the house when your people can't actually, enjoy the benefit or boast of what you've done? So I think people like that, people who are so desperate for the people's vote, I think the people should be wise enough not to vote for them.
They should be wary of them.
They should be wary of them. Let the people, when you vote for someone, let him come into power and work. During the re-election bid, you doesn't even need to even come and say, please vote for me again. Just go to your people, this is my scorecard, I promised to do this, I did it. Okay, out of the 10 things I promised, I've done 7 or I've done 6. And on the remaining 4, I've gotten to this so stage. So why you should vote for me? In fact, you don't even need to tell them why. In their subconscious mind, they feel like, okay, you've done 6 and you're on your way doing 4. So if we don't re-elect you, that means those 4 would go into waste. So we have to bring you back into this office. They'll vote for you gladly and willingly. I think that's what Seyi Makinde is enjoying now in Oyo State. Whereby there is just only little opposition. Everybody's just, teaming around Seyi Makinde like, okay, 2.0, let him go again, something like that.
Okay, New Nigeria will rise from Lagos State. Labour Party governorship candidate Gbadebo Vival. The Lagos State Labour Party governorship candidate Gbadebo Vival says Nigerian youth are 90% close to taking over governance and having their dream country materialize. The 40-year-old LP candidate disclosed this at a meeting tag Youth O'Clock in Ikeja on Thursday, where he said New Lagos would birth New Nigeria. He said, we know that the goal and what we are going through is far bigger than I and any of us. It is a project that will lift the lives of millions of Lagosians up and in turn lift the lives of many Nigerians up. It is a project to free Lagos State from the shacklehold of training. Hailing Nigerian youth for voting the LP presidential candidate, Mr. Peter Obi, and his running mate, Dr. Dati Baba Ahmed, in the February 25 presidential election. He said Obi and the LP were all about empathy and compassion on the suffering of the people.
Yes. I think if Nigeria would actually change for the better, it must start from Lagos State. Because Lagos State is just like, Lagos State can stand as a country on its own. It is the most active state in Nigeria, economic-wise, infrastructure-wise, and a lot of things on so many scale. It is the most important state in Nigeria. putting so much GDP into the what's it called, into the system, to the financial system of Nigeria. So if the change starts from there, other states as well would emulate it. If you start from there, according to the Labour Party governorship candidate now, if he wins, if he ends up winning Lagos State, it will shake so many states as well. Because once you lose Lagos State has been under APC, under the rulership of Tinubu and APC and the likes, and ACN since 1999. Up to date, that's about 24 years. So now imagine another party, taking over and continue the ruling from there. It would actually break that hegemony of those people, and to usher in new versions of people into the system, and even new ideas, new ways of doing things, new ideologies and the likes. So if it actually happens like that, which we don't know yet if it will happen or not, it's a 50-50 game. If it happens, if it end up happening like that, and Labour Party taking over Lagos, well, we don't know if it will be good or bad, because everything is just like try and error. I don't know. Because right now, you can't just vouch for someone that this person will do well, because there are so many factors that may restrict the person from doing well. There are so many human factors as well that may try to, counter the person. But if another person should come in now, there would have been, when you've stayed too long in the system and you have been able to defend the system, there will be some things whereby you're doing that you're not showing to the people in a negative way. When another system comes in, they would actually, revamp the entire system and remove some bad eggs and change the system, whereby some people are sucking from the system illegitimately. They would actually cut off those kind of pipes. So I think that is what Gbadebo Revival is talking about. You can still hit the like button, keep on clicking the like button, and also the subscribe button, and also drop your comment.
Mr. Ike Mjika said, all these your comments are negative. Okay, Mr. I
can just read a few of them that are not negative.
Okay, he said, only criminality unite Nigeria together. Nothing unite everybody together. Nigeria cannot repair.
I think it's only football that really unites Nigeria together. Football, football has a kind of passion that it cuts across. See, God bless that man, that particular person that invented football. Football cuts across religion, across race, across tribe, across anything. You just feel connected, especially if you are the same fan with the particular person, and you don't even know the person from anywhere, from Adam. Once your team scores, you just end up, hugging different people that you don't even know from anywhere. So I think aside football, nothing unites people together unlike sports.
Okay, Patricia said, say no to Nigeria, say no to Fulanization. Gladys Oriabo said, God Almighty is surely going to make us rise if the Nigerians have gone through enough pains and sufferings. Wow. Patricia said, referendum now to save lives.
Well, thinking about referendum, splitting Nigeria up, but I don't think Nigeria should actually just split up anyhow like that. I think we should revert back. If we revert back to the regional system of government, it would be better than actually, removing everybody totally like that. So if we actually revert back to the regional system, well, because it worked then, I believe it will even do better now that we have technology, and the like to enhance the development of those regions.
Okay, on the next one, politicians collected our account number without paying. Niger voters cry out. Voters in Niger State have accused politicians of deception by collecting their account numbers before the presidential and National Assembly election without paying them. Mrs. Felicia Sunday told City and Crime that their account numbers were collected by various political parties, but that 2 weeks after the polls, they were yet to receive the money they were promised. She, however, noted that some parties shared food items like rice, spaghetti, Maggi, and salt. Mr. Philip Umma, another voter, said he submitted his account to an agent of one of the political parties who promised to send him 5,000 naira after the poll, but have not done so up till now. He said many of the voters are deciding not to listen to any of them during the forthcoming gubernatorial polls. 5,000 naira. What can one get with 5,000 naira out there that will be able to sustain you in the next 4 years?
They didn't give them. They promised them.
They promised they didn't even get the 5,000 naira.
No, imagine. No, they ended up getting 0 naira, 0 kobo. You see, there are two ways to these things. I'll first of all look at the positive aspect. The positive aspect is that they cheated the people successfully. And now those people would wake up. Now they've said that for this gubernatorial election, they will not listen to them, because when you come to me for the presidential election, that okay, vote for my candidate, give me your account number. After the election, I will transfer 5,000 naira to you, and I foolishly or sheepishly believed you, accepted the offer, voted for your candidate, thinking that you would give me the 5,000 naira, and you didn't give me. For the gubernatorial election, don't even come near me, because it's either we fight or something else happen. It will surely be a negative outcome for you, because you've actually deceived me. But on the other hand, on the negative side, I think it has shown that politicians don't really care about the people that they ought to be serving. They don't care about them. If you have to actually bribe someone, if someone had to bribe you to get elected, forget it, that person will not deliver. And you have no right to question the person.
Exactly.
Because once the person pays you and you vote, that means you've sold away 4 years. You've sold away 4 to 8 years of your life. In accordance with that administration. Don't expect anything from that administration once you have collected money. So I think it will teach them a lesson now, but someone in his right thinking sense would not vote for another person based on promise.
Exactly.
You see, you can still even say you would vote for them if they give you the cash and you have it. It's just like you opening a shop, running the business, and the customer tells you, a customer that just come to you for the first time, tells you that, okay, sell this thing to me, I will go and bring money. Or give me your account number, give this product to me. When I go now, before I get home, I'll transfer the money to you. And you foolishly give the commodity to the person.
Without knowing the person.
Without knowing the person from nowhere. And you believing that, okay, this person will send the money to me. It's gone. So that's just it. So I think those voters now for this governorship election, if you know you would even receive money from it, they can bring money to you, but make sure you vote for your conscience. Vote for your conscience. Come out en masse. The system is trying to make people feel sad about coming out for election. They're trying to intimidate and, discourage the people from coming out. But the more the discouragement, I think the more the people should find, they should motivate themselves to make sure they come out and cast their vote.
Exactly.
The election has been postponed now till 18th, which is next Saturday. By this time next week, we would be preparing for the election already, and we'll be coming up with a series of updates from different parts of the country. So we've discussed about so many things, from the BRT bus saga, where it has been reported that the driver would be prosecuted. It would be called in for questioning on why he didn't stop when he realized that the train was actually moving closer to where the bus was. We also discussed about Desmond Elliot. So now, what's the fate of Desmond Elliot?
If the people are wise enough, they will not vote him in again. Which is the truth. Why is that? Is now like you want the people's votes, that you realized you didn't realize. Like, he spent how many years there? 4 years. 4 years. So he didn't realize in the second year. Okay, let's say first year, was he trying to like fit in or something? He didn't realize in the second year, in the third year. Now just like some, even let me say like first, let me say like probably like 6 months in the fourth year, he didn't realize that they needed transformers. So it's now like 9 days to the election. Now we realize, oh my God, these people needed transformers. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Like, sorry. Yeah, take this transformer. Take.
That's like, you are trying to cheat the people.
Yeah.
I guess. He's trying to cheat. They're like, okay, let me do this thing for these people. Once they have this thing, they will vote for me. But if the people are wise enough, they will vote for another person.
And the other person will learn from what happened to Desmond Elliot.
Exactly.
That don't delay any project you would do until the dying minute. Don't delay it. Do the project. Nigerians had once been forgetful, but right now Nigerians don't forget anymore. In my particular area, there's this road in my area. Since I've been in primary school, that road has not been fixed. And this particular chairman came. That was last year. Was it last year? Yeah, last year. He came that under 3 months they will fix the road. The road till now, it has not been completely fixed. They started the project and it was abandoned halfway. It was abandoned, and I was just like, during when Sanwo-Olu and Amzat was coming in, Amzat's dad had the house. He has the house around that area. So we're like, okay. And he used to pray in our mosque there, Amzat himself. He used to pray there. And we're now having this kind of thinking like, okay, if this man is closer to our community, it might actually, you know, it would help us to fix this road. So up to this moment, you know, it's not his duty per se because we have the local government chairman.
He could have done something still.
He could have done something,
exactly.
but maybe his attention was fixated somewhere or he had too much things on his table. He can't really, I don't want to personally fault him.
I don't believe he has too much on his table. I don't believe it.
See, I don't just want to force him directly. It shouldn't be as if maybe I'm hating on him or something.
All right.
So, but we should know that these people don't really care a lot about us. So now is the time to vote for people who would come in and just serve. Even if they don't want to serve, by the time they realize that the person who they defeated is not, they didn't defeat the person because they had the capacity to defeat the person, but because the people realized that this person did not work when he ought to work. So they removed him. So now I think the power is getting back to the people. And the coming elections, if the people have the power fully, forget it, Nigeria will move forward. No politician will just come out to say anything or just do anything as at when he pleases to do it. He would do it when the people needs it urgently. He would actually do it. All right, so we've come to the end of the program today. You can do well to still click on the like button and subscribe as well. You can also share this video to your friends and associate as well. So you can also do well to join Christian Chuku on the program Bystanders. On the next program Bystanders, we will see you again tomorrow on the weekend edition of the program Lagos This Morning. Bye for now.
Bye.
Andra Nereko, Desmond Elliot.